Alright, so we are playing some ranked sim. We're very low. We are playing Pluffy, the list that we covered yesterday. It's a pretty good start, actually. We're getting Shanks. I'm going to keep this, because then I can go straight into... Dave chose to go first here, to take the first off me, and they see the Uta straight away. So top 5 for red-haired pirates. If you want to see the deck list that we're running, it'll all be in the description. A link to the video yesterday where I give a breakdown of the reasons I'm running everything, but also I'll put a actual breakdown of the list. So we'll draw for turn, we will drop the Law, top 4, and we'll grab the Zoroduro. It's the only option there. It is sad that it's top 4 actually as well. And then we'll pass. I'm interested to see if they do 5-5 here with the Shanks and Uta. And then I'm also right now kind of deciding next turn if I want to... so I'm going to be using lead effect to go to 5 Dawn. And then I need to decide whether to play the Sangoro down or whether to play the Zoroduro so that I can swing 6 with my leader. Because if I swing 5, then the Shanks is just going to do me not in. We see a 6 here. I kind of want to keep the Kamazo actually now, but we will stop that just because we're going to self-damage next turn anyway. Draw another 2k, which is nice, and we'll always lead affecting here as well. I want the Zoroduro here because I don't have a 7-cost Luffy Taro as well. So I'm going to go ahead and swing 6 first, and then we'll use the search effect as well, just in case they've got any scary, smelly cards in here that like would catch me off guard. So obviously they can use lead effect here. If you don't know what Shanks does, you can give him minus 1000 power once per turn upon an attack. Whenever your opponent attacks, give one of your opponent's leaders or characters minus 1000. I really butchered that. I made that more difficult than it needed to be. So yeah, they're just thinking it through. They played the Sanji on curve, which is a little bit odd. We're going to 5 next, so we could see Yasop come down maybe. This is where they make the decision. Lord, please make your decision. Oh, it's going to be one of those games. This is why we need chess clocks, right? We have it in the rank sim, but we need chess clocks in actual tournaments as well, because this happens all the time. So we look at the top 5 with the Zoroduro, and we don't see the 7 cost, which kind of breaks my heart a little bit. I could take another Sangoro, but I'm thinking just another 2k here. I already have a Sangoro in hand. I may live to regret that decision in just a moment, but we'll see. Next turn could be lead effect double 4 cost if needed here. We see the Lucky Roo come down here. I kind of always feel like dead weird about this. We will stop this. I'm going to use the Sanji here to stop that. And they self-damage with the Sanji and swing 7, which I'm going to take. Really fine with me, honestly. Like, not a worry, mate. You want to do that, you do that. I'm going to swing the Zoro first, just to see if we get the Lucky Roo block here. This kind of like an awkward card for me in this position because I don't have my 7 cost. So like if I had 7 cost, I could go 7 into a 5 and then they're just potentially bouncing back to Zoroduro. But now they have all of this going on. I mean, I can swing into this and you can block and do things, and if they do that, that's fine with me. Like, you keep your Sanji up, pal. They do that. And they counter instead of blocking, which was a bit of a misplay here. You could have had a free block on the Lucky Roo. Again, I guess maybe I could have like swung into it with the Law, but I don't think that's the plan. I'm gonna play out the Zoroduro, grab another Gavel here. I keep calling this card Gavel. It's Giant, Gum Giant, and then I will use lead effect here. We do see a Luffy Taro, and then we'll play out the Onami. Onami to discard the Luffy and draw 2 cards, which is really nice. So we've got a really big hand now. They go to 7 done here, so they may play the... What's his name? Him. They may play him, Ben Beckman. But if they do so, they're in kind of an awkward spot. They don't want to use Sanji effect again here, because I'm just going to have so much pressure next turn if they do. Never mind, they use Sanji effect and they swing 7 into my Zoroduro. I'm going to block this just because of the Lucky Roo, bouncing back my own Nami. Oh, they don't swing with lead. This has been a very awkward game, but I do suppose it is like lower ranks, right? Like lower elo. So we're gonna Luffy Taro. We can swing 6/6. We'll just go face here. They're gonna go to 9 next turn, which is kind of odd. Like I don't know. I always feel weird going first with Shanks, like, because you want to be on that Eden curve. They do the -1 with the lead effect, so I don't have to keep that in mind, which is nice. Sorry about that. And they just counter out. So we'll just go... I don't think I'll want to be using 2 of these anyway, so I'm just going to go 7. And I don't want to be using 2 because of the Don -2 effect. So they're probably going to bounce the Zorajiro back. Sorry, it just KOs. I'm done. And then we are going to go Luffy Taro effect. And I'm tempted to just do a Zorajiro here. It's got no counter. And then we can replace it with the Sangoro. Let's do that. And then we can pass. Yeah, so I could have took the 9-cost Luffy there, but I'm just thinking next turn. I'm probably going to play out the Sanji if I'm doing anything. They use the Come On, We'll Fight You, which is basically just Uta, but in an event instead as well. So the trigger on this, unlike the normal ones, is just draw 1, which I don't know how I feel about that. I think all the other ones are like search as well, and I don't know if I think one is better than the other. But they do draw a Lime Juice, which is the one that allows them to rest the cards. They do play Dragon, which is kind of really nice tempo for them this turn. So they sing 7 at us. I am really tempted to just use the Giant, but I kind of want to save the Giant for the Dragon as well. So we'll just counter out of this with the Kamazo and a Sangoro. Get another 7 here. We will counter out of this with an Usohachi and a Sangoro. And then we see a Dragon going out face as well. So no blocker here. We'll use the Gum Giant. Trash a 2k. Give this and draw 2. Oof, we're kind of running low on counter now. Maybe we should have just took that and used that thingy on that one. That probably wasn't the cleanest line that I could have done in that scenario, really. We can do 6s at face here. 6. Are we doing Sanji here? I think we're probably doing Sanji here. So we'll go 6 here. Just try and get some counter out. See what they do. I'm also trying to like get them to use the Shanks effect really. Like if I can get an 8 into here, that's pretty good for me. Maybe I should just be going for game though. Like I don't really need to use Sanji here. It's 1k counter as well actually. Maybe I should just swing really big. Yeah, really big. Keep the 1 open for the Giant. If I get rid of this last life, so I swung 10 here just because if they use lead effect, they can't like magic number it. They get rid of my magic number basically. Like right now it's 3 2Ks, but if I swung 9, it would have just been 2 2Ks. So because if they use lead effect as well, so I swung for the 10 just to like force the over counter or force lead effect. If they use lead effect, it's not clean. They still have to use 3 cards. Like 10k still says give me 3 cards. For example, maybe this should have been 11, but no, they're countering out of the 9. Yeah, so we see a 0-cost event, and they use leader effect then as well. So we might be able to just straight up clear out this Dragon, which is my plan here. So if I attach it all to Luffy Taro, and then swing into the Dragon for 11, that's going to say give me 2 cards. We've got quite a decent buffer with life. And we get the Dragon, which makes me feel a lot better as well. We have 9 done out right now. So if we use the I keep calling it Gavel. If we use the Giant, we're going to go back to 9 next turn as well, which is something that I'm just kind of trying to keep on top of. We do see a 10-cost Shanks come down here, and they might start trying to clear up my board a little bit, which is a little bit scary, I'm not going to lie. Giant will get me to 11, and then a 2k. And I am going to stop this, so no blocker, use this, return to Don, and I'll trash the Luffy Taro to give this power. So that's really frustrating that we got that, and then hit Usohachi. So we can protect the full board. No blocker. I was tempted to leave the extra Don up last turn, but then we may have been punished. But I think we played it okay with the defensive timing. They might try and use the Sanji just to... Yeah, that's it. So we've got the game now. We're just going to fully go all out. Is he going to swing 7 into 7? Because I have the counter. They do. I have the counter. I think we're going to get this one. 4 cards. Let's just attach it all. Make sure none of these are blocker. I know they're not. I've played the deck, but just want to make sure. And then we swing 16. They put us to 15, but you can't stop 15 with 4 cards. They do have 2 2Ks and then 2. So we'll draw the GG. And we'll move on to the next game. Alrighty, we have game 2 and we have a mirror match. I'm going to go first. Only because everyone tells me that I should be going first in this. I think it's like the idea is to get out the 7 cost. I have Zorojiro early, so I kind of want to keep it, but I don't have a 7 cost. But I'm going to risk it and see what happens. See if, following some of the advice of some of my friends and online, all the content creators are telling me, you should go first with Pluffy. I really like second, but maybe in this matchup it's like super more important. I'm just going to swing 5 here first. Now the reason I like the second is just because, no, I love going first. I lied. So we have quite a few options. I'm probably just going to take the 2k because I'm low on counter and I already have Luffy Taro into Sangora next turn. But we could have took the Zorojiro there, but we're okay with this. The reason I want to do it, they're probably going to swing 5 now and we can just drop the law. Yeah, that's what they do. We'll just give them the law because next time we're going to self-damage and go into the... Oof! We ain't doing that. They're on the Magellan Spice. Not good, not good. But this is fine. We can drop the Sangoro here. I'm going to swing with the Zorojiro first, just in case they've got anything up their sleeves. In the old life areas. They take the 5, which is nice, which means if they want a Zorojiro next turn, they have to self-damage again. And then we're just going to play out the Sangoro here. Zorojiro. I meant if they want to use the Luffy Taro, sorry. Double Magellan. Oh, not ideal. But I actually don't think the double Magellan's that strong here. Honestly, like they can swing 6/6, 5 and 6 now. But I can still self-damage next turn and go into a Luffy Taro. They're just going to swing 6 at my Zorojiro, which I'm just going to counter out of. I'm really low on counter, actually, so that's a little bit scary. I counter that one, and then they'll probably swing at lead here, which we'll take. No trigger. We'll go to... This is actually not ideal. I have like no bricks. I have like a handful of bricks. I could be really mean and drop the Magellan on them. You know, respect for respect's sake, huh? But I have no counter, so I kind of want to use the Zorojiro. This is where the Magellan's scary, right? I can't swing into this, like, and I have a handful of bricks, which is kind of unfortunate, really. I don't really want to self-damage anymore, so I'm just going to drop this out. We've got 4 Gum Gum Giants in our hand, dude. This is not ideal. We'll just keep the Don open. I'd rather have to Don minus a bunch and survive than... Ooh, they took that. Maybe I'll do a 6. They have no counter. We can win. we can shoehorn it through somehow, huh? We have 4 giants in our hand. This is not it. This is obviously something that happens with other decks. Like if you play Shanks and you start the game with 4 time cost in your hand, it seems cool if you get to the late game, but it's not ideal, right? When your opponent drops double Magellan. I kind of want to just gavel here. Stop calling it gavel. Let's do it. I'm going to regret this so much. We don't need our own Magellan. We draw some counter, which is good. I'm just going to block again here. I think that we're in a position where we need to start like pressuring the life. Like if he does... Never mind, Queen is actually pretty good here for them. Like we are now playing a game of we no longer... We have to take that. Okay, we have some counter, which is good. Onami doesn't really do it for us, I'm not gonna lie. We could lead effect Sanji here. Will that get us through? Probably not. They have Don open themselves. We have a lot of 6s though, so we'll just do a lot of those. Lots of 6s. Lots of 2Ks though. What's the plan? I probably am playing out the Onami this turn just to have a block next turn, and then we're probably going to leave some open for the gavel. I don't really want to go down to 2, so I'll probably just keep the 1 open. So 6 again, yeah, 6 is all around, I think. Yeah, there's a giant. Ditches that, and then we'll swing a 6 again here. And then we'll just play out the Onami and we'll pass. It's kind of weird. Like these Magellans have put us in a weird position here. We play the Zorajiro out, draws a 1k counter. It's important that we keep track of the 1k counters and stuff here. They swing 7 into Sangoro. We'll just block that. Probably get another. No, we can just use the Sanji there. Oh, they just. We win. Very good. Would we have won next turn? Probably, actually. They don't have a lot of counter, and the top of their deck is Luffy Taro. That was a really, really weird game. The double Magellan strat. I don't know how I feel about that. Like, it set them a bit too far back with it. Like, I run Magellan, but at 2, and like seeing both on curve, I don't know if I'd have done back to back, because like it slowed me down, but I already had like some stuff out, or maybe like their hand wasn't ideal as well. Like they used one of the giants and had 2 in hand as well, so it looked like we had like very similar hands. But yeah, next game. All right, so we have Shanks again here. I like second into Shanks, so I'm gonna go first because that's what everyone tells me to do. This is a pretty nice hand, so I'm just going to go ahead and keep it. Now, the reason I'm not really liking first into Shanks too much is because they dropped the Lucky Roo when I would drop the Zorajiro, but maybe I'm just in my head. Like, better players are telling me different, so... we drop the 1 cost, we can grab the Luffy Taro, which we're always going to grab here, and then we'll pass. We do have a pretty nice curve here, going Zorajiro. Hopefully we'll find like a Sangoro here. It's the same person as the earlier. It drops Sanji on curve is crazy to me. We can swing 5, they're just going to lead effect here. Yeah, and then we'll do lead effect and play Zorajiro. Grab another Zorajiro, which we'll take here, because that means next turn we can do a Luffy Taro into Zorajiro, which is just pretty good, huh? I'm always tempted in these like earlier places to also just play out the kid so that I can get like decent curves on the go. But I think the tempo from this is just super, super important. 6 into us, which we will block with a Usohachi. And then they play out the Hongo. I don't know how I feel about that. They swing 7 at us, which we'll just take. So the Hongo, you can rest it and give something minus 2k. But like the way I'm looking at it is like you've already shown 2Ks from your hand, so it's like super awkward. I'm gonna swing the 5 into the Sanji just because I would probably get lead affected anyway, which they do let go, and then we'll swing the 6 with the Zorajiro into Shanks. I suppose the Hongo will allow them to reduce by 2. They're going to 6 next turn though, and a lot of their abilities turn on by 7, right? Either way, we'll play the Luffy Taro into the Zorajiro, done -1 as well. And then we'll just grab a Sangoro here. We do have another Luffy Taro in hand, so we're in a pretty nice spot. Like, we have decent amounts of counter here. They might be able to KO something with the Hongo here, but I don't know if playing out 2Ks super early is the play here. I like to hold as much of my counter as they can when I'm playing Shanks. And also they self-damaged, right, with the Sanji, which did push damage through, but I don't know if it did exactly what they were probably aiming for in that scenario. We do have a Bon Clay here, which is pretty good, but like we will just counter this. They're swinging 6 into us, so we are going to use the Kamazo here. Yeah, so the Bon Clay is kind of weird in this matchup because I want to get it down because they play obviously huge cards, but it's very easy for them to remove in these early stages. So if I were to play it down, I'd want to play it down after next turn. So we'll see how that goes. We go to 8 Don. We do again have Luffy Taro into Sangoro, which is probably the play, and that means we can swing 6 with everything as well. They don't have any Don up, so I don't really need to be afraid of Red Hawk. So we're just going to start swinging through. They did play the Silver's Rayleigh last turn, so we're going to do all of our 6s first here, so that we can swing 8 into the Rayleigh if they decide to do lead effect and block on one of the 6Ks. Just a little bit of a punish, a small thing, but like swinging correctly here is actually quite important, just to make sure they can't get free value from this block. It's not a bad card. Again, I see it coming up now and then. I don't really run it in my list because I think the slot is nice. I'm trying I think they're running the 5-cost ace as well. I think I just saw them discard it for the Rayleigh. So that's what I'm bringing in its stead. But yeah. So we're gonna swing through with 8. They do use lead effect and they might block here and then 2k. Please don't give me 2 cards from your hand. Just block 2k here. Yeah, nice. And then a 2k, they drop the lime juice, and then we are going to drop the big old Razzle Dazz. The old Dazzle Razzles, and we'll pass. And then we're sitting really pretty right now. Like, when you're playing against Pluffy, and this is the board that they have, you gotta cack a little bit, right? Like, this is a bit much, mate. It's a bit scary. Double Luffy Taro and 3 6Ks, so they may drop the Ben Beckman here, which looks like is exactly what they're going to do. So they use the Hongo to reduce 2 on the Luffy Taro and then Ben Beckman it as well. So as we said, there was some levels of value from the Hongo being able to deal with these, because if you don't deal with these on, like, they are really problematic for the deck. So maybe I'll stop being such a hater. They swing 6 at face, which we are going to counter out of. We have a 2k, so we're just going to go ahead and use that straight out. We'll get another draw next turn with Sangoro, which is really nice. And also, I'm really tempted to just play out the Linlin here. So we might take this Rayleigh swing, because we can clear the Rayleigh. So yeah, we'll just take this, because we're going to now play out the Linlin. That changes things a little bit. Maybe we're just double blockering here, actually, because then we can keep up a giant. Okay, well, let's not be too hasty. Let's swing 6 into the Rayleigh. Just get a draw. Might use lead effect straight out. Kind of want to deal with this Hongo a little bit. They do that. So now we're just going to swing 8 into the Rayleigh. We get rid of that, which is nice. I'll do a 5 into the Hongo just to get rid of it. Stop it from being so clean, like to be able to trade into my stuff. We'll swing our 6s through. I might play the Bon Clay here, because it would give me the extra Don. And make me feel a lot better about playing this, rather than the double block. Because I don't really think we need double block here. Like, 1 blocker should be fine if they drop a 10 cost. Take. We'll do Onami first. We'll trash this. Draw 2. We've got lots of counter. And then we'll do this on Sorajiro. Yeah. Gain the Don back and pass. And now this is what I was talking about. It puts them in that position where if they want to play a 12 cost, a 10 cost now, Bon Clay is swinging through for the same power. Minus probably 1k if it's 10 cost Shanks, right? So, we're in a really nice spot here. This Bon Clay has been coming up quite a lot for me in these situations. I mentioned in the deck profile that it comes up a lot against the Blackbeard, because obviously they have their game plan is survive to play the 10 cost. And if I play this out, I'd just say, like, that blocker ain't doing nothing, mate. But it's similar in this scenario where, like, they would want to play a 10 cost here, but then I'm going to be swinging at them with a super beefed up card if they do that. So kind of an odd situation for them. Defensively, we're in a really strong spot now. Instead of a 10 cost, we see a Rayleigh. They're probably going to clear out the Bon Clay. Which is fine. Like, we can defend our board here. Use the Onami on the 7k one. And then we can use Gavel on the other. because we're on 10 Don now, because we use the Bonclay as well, we won't miss this. So we'll block the first one, and then we'll see the second one come through here. I'll use the Gavel, return 2 Don. I'll trash the Sangoro, boost this, and then give a Law. And we're in a, again, nice spot. Got to keep in mind here that the Rayleigh stops the power of these two, so we're a bit slowed down because of that, but it is what it is. Can't all be sunshine and rainbows. We can, however, double block her up now, which is good. Or we could play another Bonclay, which kind of just says again, you know, deal with it. I kind of want to deal with the Beckman. So maybe we just play singular blocker and set up for the giant. I think it's actually not a bad idea. So 9, 10, 11 is 4k counter. One more is definite in case they use lead effect. Or drop your entire hand, is what I just said basically. I mean, we could just drop Law, because they're just going to lead effect this. I kind of want to get a card from them, so I'm just going to swing in. They use lead effect. I do kind of want to drop the Bonclay here as well, because if they drop a 10 cost, then it's just... Okay, use the Lucky Roo. This is... We have so much counter. I'm just going to drop the Bonclay and pass. We could have swung with Sangoro there actually and drew an extra card. I was on the fence about it because I wanted to keep it up so that I can be offensive with it on this next turn. If they see another Rayleigh here, that's kind of scary actually. Because our power of being able to just like put offensive output kind of like drops off the further into the late game that we go. Like it gets less scary because they can start swinging into our board a little bit. Playing out the Bonclay here again instead of the blockers, something that I want to do because I think they want to go into a 10 cost here, but I want them to be in that situation again, like I mentioned, where if they do that, they're really, really under pressure. What they could do is just play the other Rayleigh here and put me in another bad spot where they double reduce KO this, and it just makes two of my cards kind of like useless. So we'll just wait to see what they do. This card is so good. I saw one of the topping lists running 3 of this and 3 dragon, which is the list that I've been trying as well, which is just really, really clean. We also have a lot of counter, so we just need them to make a decision. It's like, respectfully, what is there to think about? Like, oh gosh. These are the moments that are like really difficult for me when I'm trying to like make these recordings, because I'm just sat here waiting, right? Like, how have you took 3 minutes longer than me for your decisions? Like, we're both playing quite a simplistic deck. You have a 4-card hand, so you don't... What are you battling with morally? If you have Rayleigh, you play Rayleigh here, right? Like, do the line that I said there. KO this, reduce, reduce. You've already done that once. Okay, we see an actual play coming out here. Swing 7. We're going to just use normal counter for this, and we won't use our blockers. And that's just in case they swing the Rayleigh into one of our bodies. We see the dragon come down, so I'm kind of happy I still have my giant. And this is kind of nice. Oh, they put the double on here. Swing 9 at face. I think I'm just going to take that. Yep. See what they do with the Rayleigh. Swing 10. So now we'll use this. Trash a card from hand. We'll trash this. Power here. And then just give them a 2k. And now we have to go for game. So we can swing 9 our face first. Do a 9 again. So 9 isn't really a magic number against Shanks because they can lead effect 2k 2k. But we just have so many attacks anyway coming through, and we win. We see that they did have the Shanks here, so they could have done the 10 cost there instead of trying to go for game, but I don't think that's ever really going to come through, especially into Pluffy, because sorry, I missed the GG, but obviously in Pluffy, if I've got a Don up, I usually have the 1 cost event, but they played to try and get around that, and sometimes I suppose you'll rob a game with that, but we saw it through. The Bon Clay for the extra power on that last turn was quite nice, but I don't really think it was needed. I think we could have just seen it through. Maybe playing the blocker would have been the cleaner line. Huzzah! Camera change, and my hair's, everything's different, right? That's the end of the video. Thank you very much for watching. I managed to get 3 games in today, which isn't as many as I'd wanted, but I did go and spend some time with my partner. We went to a Harry Potter like in concert with a live orchestra, which is actually pretty cool. Let me know what decks you want to see. If you want to see this deck again tomorrow, then I'll probably be playing it anyway, so I'll grab a recording. But as I mentioned in the deck profile, I have a lot of other decks on the go as well right now, so if there's something you particularly want to see, let me know. As for other things for the channel, camera quality and lighting is both on the way of being fixed. I have paid all of my human monies today to order some better stuff, so that's on the way. I followed some friends' advice. I think I have like an Elgato light thingamabob. I don't know. It cost me a bunch for a light, but it's going to be worth it, right? And also, I'm going to move the camera location down so you can actually read the card text if you're new or you like to see it that way. Or if you have a preference, let me know. I used to put it over the text box on the left to stop all of the haters. But some of you commented saying that you like to see the box. So let me know what you want, and have a great day. Peace.